Good morning. Hello, my lovelies. Welcome, welcome, everyone from around the world, the known universe, and cosmic creation areas. Welcome to a bunker somewhere near Area 51. I am Nicole Borghi. I am your enlightened enchantress. I'm going to guide you through this journey today, and I'm so glad that you're here because this moment is amazing. This energy, the connection that we have, and I am just glad you're here. And we're going to have an hour of empowerment and an hour of enrichment because that's what we need, right? We need to give that energy to the world, and we need to share this creation energy, and we need to share the love. And we need to heal and work on that change today. It is so very important. And that's what this time is now. There is no better time than now. And I am so glad that you're here with me. You know what? I have an announcement. If you guys have been following me, you've probably heard. But if you haven't heard yet, today the summit starts. The Overcoming Self-Sabotage Summit is starting today at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So just an hour from now on Nicole Borghi Vegas for Facebook page, it'll be on there. It'll be on the Sabotage Smasher. If you just Google Sabotage Smasher or just look it up in Facebook, that's where we'll be today. We'll also be appearing on the YouTube channel. So Illuminate Vegas is the YouTube channel that we'll be on today. And we've got so many beautiful, loving mentors. Just perfect timing for right now. Perfect timing because everybody needs to heal and we need to heal the world. But in order to do that, we are going to have to heal ourselves, right? And it's about overcoming that sabotage behavior. And loving ourselves, allowing ourselves to open up to the love and the creation and the empowerment, to be in our conscious mind, to open our third eye and to open up so we can ascend, so we can trust and we can have faith in who we are. And in order to have faith in other people, we have to absolutely have that faith in ourselves, right? It's so very, very important. And it starts with healing ourselves. That's the only way you can heal other people. That is the only way. Because in order to heal yourself, you have to open your heart. You have to let go of everything that stood in front of you, everything you allowed to pile up in front of you, and just clear that away. And that's what this Sabotage Summit is about, is we're here as mentors and teachers in a glorious fashion, an empowerment series these next 3 days to share with you how to lift up your soul, how to raise up those vibrations, how to be empowered. You know, empowering, enriching yourself and allowing yourself to receive those lessons, allowing yourself to hear the wisdom, allowing yourself to trust and accept and open up so you can allow those gifts to be brought into you, whatever that is, whether that's in your business. And because especially now that business has changed, right? It has changed so many people. We're online, we're on Zoom, we're virtual reality, we're in a different format, or we need to have creation to recreate ourselves. That's the power of now, that dragonfly energy of last year trailing us to this empowerment phoenix to change, to recreate, to burn up and grow. That is so what the energy is now. It's very, very important that we take time for ourselves. Watch the Overcoming Self-Sabotage Summit, and we're just going to smash it, right? We're just going to smash sabotage out of our way so we can lift ourselves up because the moment is now, right? We have come to this planet. We have come to this moment in time, however you want to see it, this moment in time. We have chosen this path. And now let's choose to fully engage into our ascension. In order to do that, you need to clear. You need to get honest. You get it naked into that truth, right? Just take it all off, right? And run around and be happy in your authentic, naked truth and accept who you are. Because when you're in that naked truth, that's when you can craft your business. That's when you can reach your goals. That's when you can open the doors to healing other people. This is when you can go back to class and really think about, what knowledge do I need? Maybe all those certificates, all that paperwork wasn't what you needed. Perhaps what you needed was right here. Perhaps what you needed was that all-knowing and that trust and that faith in yourself. That is perhaps what you need. I believe that that's exactly what you need. And I am here in true form, as I am every Thursday, to share with you how to be truthful for yourself, how to take initiative, how to power it out, how to boss it up, level it up, bring the game. You know what? Take charge and create your life. You need somebody that holds you accountable, right? That's what the coaches are about. That's what this is about. There's coaches, mentors, people with love. And I have a great person coming at us in just a few minutes. And she's going to share with you her uplifting story and her methods of change, her methods of grabbing that sabotage and becoming the beautiful soul that she is. And she has a story. We all have a story. But how do you take that story and learn from it? Just think, perhaps, if you could take your own movie and you can put it in a documentary, right? If you put it in a documentary and you watched it, would it be interesting? But it depends on how you write the script. Now, scripting is part of journaling, right? Journaling is scripting and creating, crafting your life, the life that you desire. You can write your own play. You can be the main character in your own play. And how would it be interesting to you? What life would you breathe into it if you had the chance? How would you begin from today, right? How can you get your groove back? How can you get your style on? How can you be the best you? Whether you want to take on the workforce, create a new business, or even just create you. Come into perfect harmony, male and female energies, and just be able to sit in beautiful presence with yourself. Perhaps that's all you need. But that is everything in and of itself, the simplicity of being able to be present with being, with becoming you, right? This is the time. Why not take the action now? Because there's so much change. Why don't you grab a hold of the change that you have control of, the change that you can make? Be the change creator. Be unstoppable, unshakable, right? That's what it's all about. But you have to start with yourself, and you have to start by going ahead and watching the Overcoming Self-Sabotage Summit, because that is what is so important. We have put this together, and it has so many blessings in it. And you're just going to listen to people, and you're going to share in their stories and share in their creation. And the hope is that you will awaken, even just a little part of you. Just awaken a little part of you, allow that to awaken, because that's what we're here for. We are here to be in the present moment, to become right now, this very moment, to being conscious, to being clarity, to be in our heart space. And start with ground zero, start from there and move up. That is how you can ascend. That is how you can create. That is how you can craft and be beautiful. And that is just so much part of the energetic reading that I have going on right now, is just the presence of all of us coming together. And even though we can't be together in one space, we can all be together in our mind's eye. We can all be together in our heart. We can all be together in our faith and our hope. We can find a way. We can find a way to be with people, because that's what we do. We're very crafty people, and times like this bring us into our best creation. Times like this bring us into that conscious moment of, what can I invent? What can I create to move past this? Even just for you. Because as you start that process, you will start the process with everybody else. And that's how we do it. It is the creation, it is the motion, because energy is everywhere and energy is forever. So when you're in momentum, everything around you is moving, right? And you can conduct your own orchestra with frequency. What if you, just for a moment, thought about conducting your own beautiful orchestra and your own music, crafting your own life, scripting your own life, and being the center of the play, being the star of your own play? So start there and be wonderful. And remember, anytime that you need to, bring your hand to your heart and just breathe, my friend. Just breathe. And the reason you're going to do that is because you know that it's all about the breath. And that very first breath is the beginning. It is the beginning of everything. It just starts with a breath, and always come back to it. No matter how heavy your heart is, no matter how strong your ego is driving the ship, right? It's taking that ship for a sail. If your ego's in that moment and you can't get away from it, just bring your hand to your heart and start right here. And share it and love you so you can open up. And be in your consciousness, awaken your heart and love. I'm going to bring my guest on right now. I've got Lynn here. Lynn, are you there, my friend? You're going to have to unmute.
I'm here.
Thank you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me, Nicole. Thank you.
Oh, it is so great to be here. And I want to thank you for coming in today. And thank you for bringing those great vibes. It's just great to share, because we empower. The more we empower each other, we power everyone as a whole, right?
Yes. Thank you, Nicole. And you know what? So many people are hurting, okay? But now is the time for each of us not to dim, but to shine as bright as we possibly can.
Yeah.
And if our light is too bright, well, put your sunglasses on, okay? But It's time to shine, my friend.
It is. Absolutely. That is so beautiful. You know what? Tell people a little bit about you. Introduce yourself over here to this oneness audience, everybody out here, because you have such a vibrant light. You are super shiny and filled with love, and you give that love just so easily. So share with people who you are and how you got here to this moment.
Absolutely. I am Lynn Owens, and I am the Chief Dream Encourager. And you may be wondering, what's that? What do you mean? Well, I am the CEO of Manifest Big Dreams, and I help men and women achieve their big dreams. And so often when we're younger, we have these dreams of becoming an entrepreneur, starting a business. It may be losing weight. It may be to travel around the world. And then all of a sudden, we become attached. We cling. We simply cling to our limiting beliefs. I don't have any money. Nobody's buying anything. And so I help men and women around the globe create their big dreams. And I am so honored to be here, because there's a dream inside of all of us. Everyone has a dream, and no dream is too small or no dream is too big. As each of us steps into our light, shine brighter, okay? It helps everyone. Our planet needs light. And no one's light can outshine another light. We're all going to shine bright together. So I am here to just share, and I'm so honored to be here because it's time to shine.
Oh, that's so beautiful. You know, when we have our experiences and we shine, we're able to ignite that in everybody, kind of like a match, right? You're able to just
Absolutely.
light it up. I love that.
Absolutely.
And you know, what is when you find that people are kind of stuck in that one point where they just feel like they just can't get into it. They just can't go forward and they just can't pick it up and feel that drive. How do you motivate them or what do you tell them?
You know, when people are stuck, I help them connect to their inner truth. And so I ask why, okay? And I ask myself why. When thoughts come into my head, I say, why are you thinking this? Where did this come from? And so often as we begin peeling back those, as I call them, stuck whys, okay, we
Right.
learn that they're attached to someone else's truth. So let me give you an example. One of my clients had the dream to move up. She's in direct sales.
Mm-hmm.
And she had the dream to move up in her organization, but someone in her network said to her, "You're a mom and you have 4 kids. Now is not the time." Oh, yeah, they said it. And so she wanted to fulfill this dream, not only for herself, but for her children. But she
Yeah.
was clinging to the what someone else had began to create in her life. And so,
Yeah.
so often we allow others to create, we allow our past to create, our past experiences, our past failures. And so I love stepping in and helping people unpack that powerful why. Because if we
Wow.
don't unpack that why and really align with our truth, we stay there.
Mm. That's powerful. That's powerful. It's the truth, right? It's the naked truth, the authentic truth, and knowing the truth of you. Where did you come from? How did you get here? What's your story? So once you unpack all of that, do you even need all of it? You don't need to carry it forth, right? You
Right.
don't need to take it everywhere with you because that bag gets heavy when you're carrying it, right? Everywhere you go.
And
And living, you know, yeah, you don't need it.
and I will tell you, Nicole, that this woman had a dream to up
Mhm.
level her financial resources, to up level her giving. Her achieving this level in her business would provide her the time freedom. And so as we began to step into that and really unpack the why, I invited her to connect with her future self, okay? Not your
Yeah.
present self, but really align with that vision in your life. And so as we do that, we can then begin to deliberately, intentionally create our dreams. And folks, whether we want to embrace it or not, we are powerful creators. And so I say, let's create and dream big because you're going to do it anyway. Okay. Whether you
Yeah.
do it by default or you do it with intentionality. So I just feel like, gosh, if we're going to dream, let's dream big. So
Yeah.
that's who I am and what I do.
It's very magical that you bring that up about your client. How wonderful to help her move forward. How wonderful to have her invest in her dreams, not just for her, but her why is also her children. It's not what identifies her. It doesn't make her her. It's part of and parcel of her. And she can leave a legacy to give to her children. If she's focused, if she is steady, clear, hyper focused, and she's ready to connect and she's ready to, conquer her goals and prosper and just go through that glass ceiling. It's magical almost. It's, it makes you just kind of raise up out of your seat a little bit, right?
Right.
Because you feel that change, especially when you've done it yourself and you're able to help people craft and create a beautiful life.
And Nicole, I will tell you, so often on the road to manifesting our big dreams, fears come up. And I kind of think of it like a trip to the grocery store. Okay? Mm-hmm. We're driving to the grocery store and we hit a pothole. But as we're going to the grocery store and we hit that pothole, we don't park our car in the pothole. Okay? We don't get out and abandon the car, okay, and walk the rest of the way. We don't set the car on fire when we hit a pothole.
No.
We keep driving. And so for me, it's so powerful that we understand that once you step on the other side, embracing fear is a decision.
Yes. Yes.
Embracing fear is a decision. But just as we can embrace fear, we can embrace love. Mm-hmm. That's what we are.
Yeah.
That's our truth. And so as we are pursuing our dreams and we remember who we are and that this pothole is here to teach me something. Mm. And if I can just learn the lesson and give gratitude to this pothole, and just let me stop right there, Nicole, and say, this was a hard, being a coach, sometimes we think, people live in an ivory tower and they don't experience or feel the same thing that others feel. But for me to learn to give gratitude in the face of obstacles, in the face of situations that were tough, I had to learn that skill set, because initially I just wanted to say some really ugly words and just park my car there.
Yep.
But that's not the way we learn to shine bright. We learn to shine bright by cranking the car up. So when you hit some potholes, they're so deep, okay? They're so deep.
Yeah.
Your car may stop, okay? We have traumas and past, in our past, all sorts of things. And so in life, that's going to come up. And accomplishing and achieving our big dreams really about who we are now.
Yeah. And that's so beautiful.
Yes.
That's so beautiful.
Yes.
Because, and the reason I laughed at first when you talk about getting out of the car, because I parked the car in the middle of the road and walked out. I have done it. I'm done. Leave the car. I don't need it. Whoever's in the car can stay here because I'm done. And we feel that way sometimes. And sometimes we have to have those emotions and have that feeling.
Yes.
Because we have to come to the clear, cognizant, conscious part of that moment and be like, okay, what am I doing here? I'm awake. Sometimes you just wake up in the middle of it. But you know what? Now I take a 4x4 through it and I'm like, oh, potholes, no problem. Let's go.
Let's
Ride
go.
right through it. Right. And it's how you start to look at it. But you have to take the first step, and you have to have somebody hold you accountable, somebody to hold you up, but not somebody that's going to carry you across that race line, carry you to the other end. That's not what coaches are for. We're for helping you detach and see what is within those true fragments of you. Right. And that is so beautiful, that you have to see that shadow. You have to see that inner child. You have to address those feelings and those emotions for that one moment. And then everything wonderful will come through, and you'll start to see where those lessons are, right? You start to see, okay, I've learned from this. I can grow from this. I'm not going to do it again. Let's not do it again. And that's the moment that's right now. You know, do you want to hide? Do you want to run away? I hear you. I understand. Trust me wholeheartedly. I have been there. I have divorced my anger. I wore it. I wore it like a suit, like a tight fitting suit that I couldn't get out of, right? You know, those stretchy jeans, those pajama jeans. I wore my anger just like those. And I said, no more, because I can't get out of them. I'm stuck in them. But now it's like, you know what? There's a freedom, and there's like, whoo. And I meet beautiful people like you, because if I was still stuck in my sabotage, if I was still stuck in my hate, I wouldn't have met you. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be able to do this. I wouldn't be able to bring this beautiful light, love, and energy to people everywhere. And that's what it's all about. It's about growing and sharing. Because once we get past this point, when you cure yourself, or you heal yourself, and you start to get past that, and you start to ascend, then what do? You've gotten it. Now there's those beautiful goals that you can reach. Now there's those changes that you can make. Now you don't even have to think about it. It's sometimes I don't even have to write things down of what I'm going to accomplish that day, because I'm so in that creation. I get it done, right? Now you can get it done. And you see your clients, and I just heard from a beautiful client the other day, and you know, just where she's at. Just have had a beautiful baby, have her beautiful family with her, and just clear that part that she just needed to get past. And just being able to share, hey, here's the road ahead. And that's what we do as coaches. Whether you're saying you're psychic, whether you're viewing it remotely, whether you're open your intuition, it's all about faith, trust, and knowing, and sharing that. And when you're open, you can help people. But when you're open, you know also that you give it the grace, that you can't force feed it to people. And that's huge. That's huge. And that's what we're not here to do, is we're not here to activate that in an angry way. We're not here to force feed it to people. It's about the freedom of you, the freedom of choice, and the guidance. You know what? When you start to wake up, before you slip back into that rut, before you over-medicate yourself or take another drink, trust me, I've been there. It's time to see why you're doing that. It's time to take that little glimmer of hope, and how far are you going to run with it? And be where you're at, but be okay with where you're at. If you make that choice, if other people around you make that choice, and you want to lift up spiritually, if you want to grow and you want to rise, and your aura is so huge that people feel you coming a mile away, and they're just like, whoa, what is this? And you bring it into the room. You just bring it. I'm bringing it. I'm going to bring the love, and I'm going to bring the light. If you don't like it, like you said before, put your sunglasses on, right? Because here it is. Here it is. And that sparkle, you know, that beautiful sparkle that you have, and that you share with people, and sharing with them. And when you have a client like you were speaking about earlier, that wanted to grow, and you hear back from them, well, how does that make you feel?
It's priceless. It's priceless. It makes me feel as if there's a power of one. And I'm not going to cry.
That's okay if you do.
But so often we feel as if we have to have a gazillion clients. But there's a power in one,
Mm.
and it's beautiful.
Yes. And it's that power that you've been able to spark somebody's growth, that you've been able to nourish somebody,
Right.
right? And sow the seeds and plant them in them, and they've grown with that. It is just so beautiful. And how,
I'm stopping my video for just a second.
okay. Okay. Okay, you guys. You know, and that being able to be there when you're needed, being able to be present at that time and being able to share with people that growth and that prosperity and hearing client testimony, it's huge. It is huge. And it's not just a pat on the back. It's not just the egoic pat on the back, but what it is that you have arrived, that you have done the job that you have sought out to do, that you have sown those seeds and nourished them, you've watered those seeds, and you've watched them grow, right? And now it's time to harvest those seeds. And when you harvest those seeds, you're able to share with other people the prosperity and the ability to manifest. And that's what's the part of the harvest, right? When you look at things like the rune stones, they talk very much about how to sow your seeds, how to create, even winter that we're going to be coming through shortly. The winter, the ice. Because even though ice is harsh and heavy and it can be cold, there's a glorious blanket of snow around. And this beautiful snow will provide nourishment and water. It will freeze and allow those plants to hibernate. But once the spring comes, they will have enough nourishment and they will have enough rest to grow and prosper and reblossom, just like the phoenix, just like a phoenix. And it grows again and it prospers again. And those are the seasons of life, and that's what it represents. And that's what part of the Overcoming Self-Sabotage Summit is about your ability to grow and be part of those seasons, be part of the change. Don't just change the change, because sometimes it's unnecessary, right? Do you need it? I'm not talking about being stubborn in the moment. I'm saying, remember to change where the change is needed. Because if your water filter is working, then you don't need to change it. Move on to something else. Put your power, put your passion into the next thing. Let it be. Learn to let it be. And that's very, very hard, especially women, especially right now, especially when you're coming back to loving yourself. Letting things be that are just fine. If it's not broke, don't fix it. If it's working, let it go, because that way you can put your energy and your time into other projects and you can grow. Because there's going to be a time when you're writing in your journal, you're writing in your journal all the time. And there's going to be a time when you're like, I've got this. I can check this off my list because my top goal is so powerful that it just drives me. So I'm going to make sure that every little goal and every little step that I do is taken care of, and then look back at it. Because I don't want you to feel that it's heavy, and sometimes goals can be a heavy thing. And we look at them every day. And we're like, well, I didn't really get that done, and I didn't check that here. And I'm not talking about the little to-do list, because goals are not just to do, they are. They're part of becoming. They're part of that change. They're part of the transformation. And so don't fret on your list. If you don't get it done, just put it on to the next day. We always, 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 we set goals. We want a new year, a new you. But let's start within, because you'll never get that diet. You'll never get that heavier weight. You'll never take that vacation. You'll never take a moment for even yourself if you don't start with what's right here, what's most important. That's your heart. And your heart needs to open. And sometimes it's scary. It could be just like the Grinch, right? When he feels his heart for the very, very first time. And he's like, what is this change? You start to change in here. Put time down for yourself. Time to just take a breath. Time to take a walk. And some of us have more time than ever right now. What are you doing with your time? I mean, just before I got on the show, I was doing cardio. I have time. I need to be in a moment. And sometimes when it's tough or there's a pain or an emotion I have to get through, it's easy just to do some jumping or some running around, do a little bit of vigorous exercise, get outside. Because that toughness, when you're doing that vigorous exercise, it makes you sweat. It gets you in that moment. And that's where your focus is at. And it drives you. So just like you're in that moment where that anger, and you're hyper-focused with that anger, replace that with exercise. And then I took a moment for everybody and I did a little drumming because I wanted to be present with the emotions of now and the emotions of change. And I'm very much an empath and I feel people's need to activate. I feel people's need to be in that activist role, to be sometimes the victim where they feel they need to be rescued and they need to scream so loud that they need somebody to hear them so they can be rescued. And I feel that. I've been there. But I want to help you. I want to raise you up and help you rise up to the occasion, because you're going to go from victim to survivor, a rescuer and survivor, right? You need to be creative. The creator, you want to be the creator. You want to be the mentor. You want to become the teacher. And if you want to get out of that little constant spiral circle of, I got to be rescued, or I got to rescue other people, or I'm a survivor, it's wonderful that you've survived. And you have a passionate, beautiful story. Let that story drive you. Let it be your niche. Let it be an avatar for the people you want to create and bring towards you in creation and share with your business. Maybe that's your purpose. Maybe that becomes your avatar. Maybe you can help people who are at a certain level or have come to a certain illness that you want to help survive. You want to get past that survival. Now that they've been able to rescue themselves, they can share with other people and provide guidance. Articulate the path. You don't want them to just be stuck. And sharing that story. What is the experience bring to you? It's very important when you conquer the imposter. When you talk about your business, you feel fraudulent. If you feel fraudulent because you don't have one more degree, you need to take one more class. Well, I'm a heavy, heavy researcher at heart. And I got to have it. I got to read it. I got to know it. But you know what? I realized I'm reading the same thing over and over again. I know this stuff. And when I allowed myself to say, hey, I have the wisdom. I have this wisdom. I know it. It's downloaded in my files. I just need to bring it up. But I was so heavy-hearted and so upset and depressed and in that fear that I couldn't draw it. So I had to keep repeating it. And I was having a hard time remembering things. But then I realized I have this. I got this. I've got it. Now I can conquer that and know what tools do I have? What education do I have? What money do I have in my pocket to start a business? Oh, I've got an iPhone. I can get online. I've got a computer. I could do a podcast. There's something I can teach people. Maybe I can create a few videos and share them with people. What do you have? And most of what you need, when you put your pros and cons in those places, or what you have and what you need. The majority of what you have is probably 90% or more of what you need to just start that business, of what you need to just get into that career, into that mindset. What do you have to offer? What's your niche? And when you start to identify your why and you've identified your niche, who are you? How did you get here? What makes you unique? And for me, that was just so uplifting. And I see that in my beautiful clients, they identify with who they are. Why do they want to reach those goals? What will they get out of it? You know, do they want to start a business? Do they want to start a 501c3? Do they just want to stop being in anger, being hurt, being in pain, picking up another drink and self-medicating? That's okay. Even if those are your goals, those are the strongest goals because they represent the pain and the hurt within us. And once you identify that little minute point, or even a little bit more, and you kind of peel the layers of the onion out, right? To clarify, because we're always going to do work. Once you identify that, you can move up from that. And you can be empowered, you can be enriched, and you can love and know and understand that you are making the correct decision. You are in your moment of clarity. You have conscious connection with yourself. And in order to have that, ability, that third eye opening of your intuition, you need to be consciously connected because it'll start to flow, whether it's clear audio, right? You're hearing, you know, whether it's visuals and seeing things. Maybe you get little tidbits of things. How does it come to you? Once you identify how the world is speaking to you, how your angels and guides are speaking to you, even your inner guidance, once you identify how that speaks to you, that's it. You know that you were in that moment of clarity because you know what to look for. And if you don't know, you ask, hey, can you show me a sign, something I will understand, something I will resonate with? Can you speak to me a little bit louder so I can hear you? Can you articulate to me in a way that I understand it? It's like communicating with anybody in this realm, just in the angelic realm. When you're communicating to your angels and guides, you want to be able to speak in your love language, a way that you understand. And this way you'll move forward and you'll ascend because you will be so hyper-focused and driven, things come right in to what you need. That's that law of attraction, manifesting, spontaneous manifestation. It drives it home quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker. And in order to be in that, you have to have full clarity. You have to be in your naked truth. You have to be authentic to you. You know, sometimes when we're in certain environments with other people, we have to kind of speak their language. It's not necessarily masking yourself, but it's being able to speak the language that they understand. It's their experience too. And so when you go to your family, you can't always force it on them. I wish you could force that change on them and the love and every beautiful thing once you overcome that self-sabotage and you have created the new beautiful person that you are, right? The better body, the better mentality. And you walk, you talk differently. When you've created that, sometimes our family can't identify with it. And so when you're in that moment, just be with them. Allow them to be where they are at. And that is the grace that you can give them. When they're ready to talk to you, they'll look it up. They'll speak to you, they'll message you, they'll text you when they're ready to talk to you, but not until then. You can mention a few things, and perhaps maybe it's the way that we talk about it. Maybe it's the way that they don't understand. Maybe there are certain things. It's just like when I teach people how to anoint with oils. they don't want to take all these oils out, or they don't want to smudge and get the smudge stick out and smudge it everywhere. Not everybody likes the smudging and the smoke and that whole ritual. It's too much for them. That's okay. Maybe they like the oil. You've got to find quick tips and tricks to make it work for people so that they will come to it, so they will have a better clarity and understanding. If if you force it on them, it can be a little powerful, where they'll be like, hey, stop. They're just not ready. And that's okay. And when you're ready, you're going to rise to the top, and some friends will go away. New ones will come in. It's the power and the level of the thought that you are at that allows you to bring other people in. You can still love friends and family. If they're at another level, just be okay with it. There's nothing you need to explain. You just need to make the change. Sometimes we just drift apart, and then we bring these new wonderful people, and you'll never be alone. When you're in your naked truth, you're never alone. I am never alone. I have wonderful, passionate, beautiful people that I talk to all the time. And they're just loving. And they're so supportive. And it is okay, right? It's okay for them other people to be where they're at, because now you don't have to worry about that. When you spent all your energy thinking of everybody else's pain and anything negative that happened to you constantly. Now, I'm not talking about just addressing it at the moment and being like, okay, maybe I can clear that out, say what I need to say, and move forward and be blessed on that path now and learn that lesson. And then you move to these beautiful friends, and there's so much of a difference in life, and there's so much beauty and love, and they want to power you up. Those are the friends you need. If you're begging to be part of that group, how can you change? Find out what they do, how they think, where they go, things that they do. When you start doing little things like, okay, I want to be in this group of people who are more nutritious, who are more healthy, who have a better quality of life. What do you drink? Oh, we drink lots of water. You take supplements. I take some greens. Maybe you detox, do an enema, get rid of it, bust the junk out. Kind of start asking them what they do, because they will more than tell you how they got successful, because you want to share it. You want to yell it from the rooftops. And you can learn that from them, and you can grow. And then as you grow and you do and you change, you'll find different groups of people that are more willing to share beautiful things and riches with you. That's how you become part of the group. You're not going to steal it from them. You're not going to take it from them. Because if you're with the right friends, you'll get it freely. You will grow, prosper, and receive the beauty, the bounty, the gains. When you're in that different energetic frequency, you'll receive so much more. And my friends, I thank you for being here today. And Lynn, bless you. I'll get with you in just a minute. And thank you for being here. Join us in about 10 minutes. Same thing. We're going to be on watching the Overcoming Self-Sabotage Summit. It will be on my Facebook page, Nicole Borghi Vegas. It'll be at the Sabotage Smasher Facebook. It'll also be on YouTube. I'm going to put those back on my page, on my Facebook page. You'll see us on the YouTube, and we're going to have all this more beautiful things for you. More beautiful, wise words that you can, simple tips and tricks to practice every day. You guys, it is such a blessing to come at you every Thursday right here and be in this passionate action, raising my vibration, sharing the healing, transforming that mindset, transforming our hearts, and just be. Bless you guys. Bye-bye. Have a great week.